So let's take a quick look at the lights that I have set up. So I've placed them into the My Assets folder and obviously given them appropriate names. So I have a number of gate lights. So if I just double click on one of these, you can see that these lights are set up just next to a gate. They're set up with a typical range of around 15, different colours and an intensity of about 3. Then I have lights that are set up in doorways. Okay, so this is the green one in the building that we saw. This one has a range of 10 and an intensity of 4, so it kind of stands out a little bit. If I just click on point light 1, what is this one? Oh, that's the red. Actually, that should have been a gate light. Save lights. So these are the ones that are placed in these kind of buildings. I've made them all the same colour, so that the player is then familiar that with this type of system, recognising this as a save state. Once again, the range is 15 and intensity is 3. Okay, I also have the room light. So if I double click on that, that takes us to this building. And when we go inside, we can see that this one is very orange. Light bulbs generally give off a sort of an orangey glow, a tungsten glow, so I was going for that. Range is 20, so that it extends all the way out to the edges of the room, but the intensity is only 3. Okay, ooh, I've noticed actually that right there, right there, if you can see it, there's actually a window out of place, so let's just fix that. So when we grab it, we should be able to put it back into place. Okay, where should this one go? I think it should go there. Yeah, okay, it's close enough. Just don't leave it in the middle of the room, basically. Oh, it's not quite in place. If I can select it, which I can't. There we go, and just push it back into the window. There we go. Great, so now it's in place. So let's find the lights that are around this tree. I don't think I called them tree lights, although I may have. Oh, I did call it tree light. Okay, so double click. Okay, set me further away. So these ones have a range of around 20, so it extends a little further, and the intensity is pushed all the way up to 6, and it's a very bright, intense red. Now I've placed them as close as I can to the tree, and that way it really illuminates this tree. Now the post-processing profile does a good job of kind of softening these lights out and diffusing that colour, but it's still easily recognisable from almost the edges of this map. Really, you can see it from anywhere. Okay, so that's the lighting. Now it's time to fix a few of these issues with the jagged edges, the flashing, and obviously the trees kind of switching on and off. Okay, and the issue is because of the it's basically the rendering type that is on our camera. So if we find our first person controller and our camera, we can see that it's something to do with our rendering path. Okay, so it's using graphic settings. A better option would be to use deferred. Okay, so as soon as I use deferred, that should get rid of a lot of that a lot of those jagged edges, but certainly the trees should no longer kind of switch on and switch off. It would be far more realistic. Okay, so deferred rendering is probably the best option if you're making a sort of a AAA game for computers that have really high processor power. It's probably not the best option for like mobile games, but we're not making a mobile game here. This is very much a kind of a computer game. Okay, so that will help to a certain extent. It will even actually lighten the scene up a little bit. We can also check out our post-processing behaviors. Okay, so for this one on the Horror Night, we can go to our anti-aliasing, and at the moment we have a very fast, and it's an approximate anti-aliasing, which is doing a relatively good job, but it would actually be better if we use a temporal anti-aliasing. Okay, a little bit of a warning, it doesn't work correctly when MSAA is enabled, so let's click on our camera, just check that our MSAA is off. Okay, and that stands for multi-sample anti-aliasing. So you don't want two types of anti-aliasing working at the same time. Ensure that that is set to off, which it is by default. Okay, I'd leave these values as they are at the moment, but if you do want to change any of those, feel free to do so. These are the original values on the screen. Now bear in mind that if you have multiple ones of these, you probably do need to do the same on each one. Okay, so that's an alternative one, and this one's the night vision. Okay, so once again, do the same and play the game now and see what the difference is like.